You guys remember the refugees that just touched down in the United States last month? Remember those that were running from being murdered? Well, one of them just murdered his wife. Yes, the white South African strangled his wife to death. So it looks like Trump is filling the country up with murderers and criminals, not deporting them, not getting rid of them. Because don't forget now, he brought in the cartel family, 17 members of them, I believe. And we know what the cartel does. Now we got this murdering South African over here. Maybe before he's through, this country will be overran with murderers and criminals. That's what it looks like he's trying to do to me. So far, he's 2 for 2. These are the people he's bringing into this country. Murderers, drug dealers, all kind of craziness. Is this what y'all got? This what y'all looking for? Yeah, I guess hard-working immigrants that were out, picking your fruit and harvesting your crops and working on your construction sites and working in your homes and the lawn care people. I guess they are just deplorables, but you get a whitey from South Africa strangling his wife, you got something. In Trump's eyes, anyway. Just thought I'd bring it to you guys. Let me get out of here. Before I go, I just gotta know, is it great again yet? My friends are really, really stuck on that question. Have a good one.
Hello wonderful people, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Our focus today will be on the African refugees who recently resettled in the United States. A Cape Town woman was choked and killed by her husband in the USA during a domestic dispute on May 24, 2025. Kim White Towne suffered trauma to her upper body and he was declared dead at the scene. Her husband Alexander Towne has been charged with second-degree murder. Alexander was a US military who took advantage of the position to kill her wife. Let's watch the following videos.
Trigger warning. Remember those people not too long ago that came from South Africa because they made up a genocide and they were like seeking asylum and some of them settled in... Yeah, well, one of them already killed his wife. I mean, this was on the 24th of May in Virginia. He strangled her to death. What's wild about it is my first thought was like, dang, maybe he did come over here to do that because maybe he'll get away with it. Maybe he'll get a pardon. Maybe. And not too long ago, that would have sounded ridiculous for me to say. But here we are. What if he does get a pardon? Like he claimed like emotional distress or something. What if he does?
Okay guys, really quick. I do have a case here for you. Fortunately, this time, it does not involve farm attacks. Unfortunately, it does involve a young couple of Afrikaners. On May the 24th, Alexander Towne from Cape Town, South Africa, called the Chantilly, Virginia police, informing them that he had assaulted his then wife, Kim White Towne, also from Cape Town, South Africa, a teacher there who had moved here to the U.S. allegedly due to the crime in South Africa. Alexander Towne informed the police that after assaulting his then wife, he believed that she was no longer with us. After arriving at the scene of the crime, the police confirmed that Kim White Towne, unfortunately, is no longer with us. It is unfortunate that allegedly they came here to avoid the crime in South Africa, and it turned out like this.
I don't think that she is with us anymore. Those were the chilling words that Alexander Towne said to 911 operators as he stood over the dead body of his wife. A wife who he claimed he loved. A wife who he had beaten, strangled, and killed while their child was in the next room. Hi everyone, my name is Carrie and I'm an ordinary South African woman, but I'm an ordinary South African woman who is grateful against this violence that is happening against our women. And today I want to talk about the case of Kim White. Now, Kim White was a beautiful 32-year-old South African who was born in Cape Town. And when she grew up, she always wanted to help people. And that's why she decided to become a teacher, to mold young minds. So when the opportunity came for Kim to work in Dubai, she leapt at it. And she had an amazing time in Dubai. It's an amazing city. And she drank in all what Dubai had to offer. But it was in Dubai where she would cross paths with a dashing young American soldier with an easy smile and a good sense of humor. And his name was Alexandra Towne. Now, Kim and Alexandra would fall in love quickly and they would have a whirlwind romance. And Kim soon found out that she was expecting his baby. And we all know that it's not okay to have a baby out of wedlock in Dubai. So Kim returned to South Africa and she and Alexandra wanted to be a family. So they got married in December 2021. But all was not good. You see, Alexandra had a problem. And his problem was that he hated women. And behind closed doors, he would beat Kim. Now, we know that her family knew what was going on, and they often said to her, "Are you sure this is the type of man that you want to be with?" But Kim was in love with him. And you know what? After every time, he would come and apologize, and he would have the most sincerest apologies. And he would tell her that, "Kim, you are the woman who can change me. You are the woman who can make me a better man." And Kim believed him because she wanted to believe him, because she loved him. So Alexandra would go on back to the US to secure a visa. We've all watched 90 Day Fiancé. We know how it works. A visa for Kim and their new child. And Kim would soon follow him. And by September 2023, Kim had followed him to the US, where he was staying in military barracks. So Kim just wanted to have an ordinary white picket fence type of life. And she hoped that she would get that when she moved in with Alexandra in America, and they would be the lovely, beautiful young family that they were. But guys, just 2 months after Kim joined Alexandra in America, she took a protective order out against him. You know why? Because woman hater Alexandra was beating her. Oftentimes she would call her aunt, and her aunt would hear Kim crying where she had locked herself in a bathroom or a bedroom, and the aunt would hear Alexandra pounding on the door trying to get to her as the couple argued. Now, guys, Kim tried to do the right thing. She tried to leave, but it's not that easy. The stats say that it takes on average 7 or 8 times for a woman to leave their abuser. And let's just think about this. Kim has moved to a new country. She has an aunt in Ohio, but that's quite a distance away from Virginia, where Kim was. And Kim has a young child. This guy was dependent on her being in America. We all know how 90 Day Fiancé works. So, guys, let's just think about that power dynamic. And also, Kim and Alexander had a trauma bond. And a trauma bond is one of the most difficult bonds that you can break because of how it forms. So, what happens is that you fight, and then your body reacts a certain way, and then you make up, and then the body releases certain hormones and brain chemicals to the point where it becomes almost an addictive process. Now, ladies, if we're going to go for anyone in the comments, let's go for woman hater Alexander, because Kim was just trying to do what she thought was the right thing. And Kim moved out and lived with her aunt for a while. And then she often spoke to her aunt about, she felt like a failure. She had a lot of guilt. She felt like a failure because her marriage wasn't working. She felt bad because her child didn't have a father. So when Alexander came begging one last time, promising that he was a changed man, that Kim was the person that mattered the most to him in life, that he would do anything for her, that he probably promised he'd go to therapy, he'd do anything to get her back. She loved him, and she wanted to believe what he said was true. So Kim moved back in with him, in a rented house in Chantilly, Virginia, where Kim would die. And she would die by being strangled. Now guys, this is not the movies. You don't just grab someone by their throat and they die instantly. It takes minutes to strangle someone to death. Minutes. This man, this woman-hating man, had so much anger for Kim that he held his hands to her throat for minutes while he watched the blood vessels pop in her eyes and the life go out of them. Guys, I'm going to be making a TikTok. Follow me. I'm going to be making a TikTok every day until something is done about this. Because you know what? I'm not going to run out of women. And by the time you go to bed at night, and by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, another one of our sisters is going to be killed by the man that she shares her bed with. We lose one of our sisters every 7 hours in South Africa, and this needs to stop.
It is so painful relocating to USA as a refugee and later on getting killed. So sad, the woman was killed while a 3-year-old son was locked in another room. Kim White was one of the African refugees who left South Africa under allegations of genocide as per the Trump administration. We are all waiting to see what the court will handle this situation. So, the West African refugees were given a space in the USA for them to be killed. Let me know your opinion on this, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you, family. Bye.